morning, everyone. Good morning, Miss Fazri and Encik Ahmad. Of course, Karu is here, Intan is here, and two other guys is with us here. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the PG Pizza Talk. Coffee talk. Because coffees are available. If you are here, coffee is available. So the title for the talk today, we are going to talk about IR 4.0 or Industrial Revolution. Since we are in education institution, that's why I thought of talking about learning reimagined. That means how do we learn to prepare ourselves for IR 4.0. Before I start, perhaps I will introduce myself. Don't have to read this, it's small words. I'm the program coordinator for master's program in Faculty of Engineering. So all the master's program by coursework, I'll be taking care of that. So there are actually a few programs, 3 programs that we have there. I'm also a chartered engineer and a professional engineer under BEM. Okay, let's start. This is the content which I'm going to cover today. So we are looking at, when we say learning reimagined means we should imagine how we are going to learn to prepare ourselves for IR 4.0. IR 4.0 is not like coming soon, it's here already, okay? So I will start with introduction and what are the challenges and what are the impact to different kind of parties, how do we shape it, and what is MMU doing for that. I think this is a familiar chart where we have why we call it FORT, because we have first. First is more of, if you see the olden days, the steam power, the water power, when I was not even born. All of you were not even born, I think. Then we have second revolution where we have electrical power, where we start to have electrical power, electricity. We have start to have cars. Third evaluation is where we see PLC. We see IT systems and robotics. We see a lot of automation in our current manufacturing industry, in our current factory. So the fourth revolution that we are looking at is, we are looking more at automated things, robotic things, autonomous decision. We link our brain, our mind with all the automation. How do we do that? We even have, you should be familiar with cloud technology, although today is cloudy. But we talk about server cloud, all clouds that we have here. So all your data, all your things are actually there on the cloud. Even today, I think all of us, our data is somewhere there. The moment you log in, it's there already. So how do we link them together with the machine that we have? How do we link them to get our works done? This is a small chart, just a review. This is what the world thinks how fourth industrial revolution will affect everybody in the world. These are some of the ideas. So what I did was that I pick up what we have. That means in Malaysia, locally. So in locally, MITI, Ministry of International Trade Industry, they have this policy for IR 4.0. This is the policy that I pick up from them, from the ministry. They call it Industry Forward. 4WRD is actually Industry Forward, and this is the policy. So those are the things that they have in their mind, what they have planned in order to achieve that. I will come back to here again when we go further. So this is locally what we have. For us, as a consumer, as an educator, as a student, as a normal person, what are the challenges and opportunities? So today, what do you think? Which part is actually IR 4.0? Here are some examples already. We play games, but this is not the normal games that you play when you were small. This is like online game, network game. It's different already. So if I'm here, you are in UK, I can still play with you. We listen to music, no longer cassette player, laptop, PC. Now we listen to music through streaming, we listen from the cloud. We don't have to stream down those music. We call for Grab, we call for cab, we call for taxi. We no longer need to call, I need a taxi, what time, please come. You just use the app on your phone. We book a flight, no need through travel agent, no need through tour agent anymore. Just go online, even with your phone, use the app, we can just book a flight. You want to buy any product, that's even amazing. You can do it 24 hours. You don't have to wait for the shop to open. Even in MMU, you want to apply to come in. Just do it online, 24 hours. You don't have to wait for Mr. Cairo said, pukul 10 baru buka. You don't have to wait for that. You can do it online anytime. So these are the benefits that we have as a consumers. What are the challenges? Who provide all this? What is expected with IR 4.0 really here? So just now I mentioned what we have, what we can do now. But what is expected as we move on? We will have self-driving car, which means we just have to tell the car. We just say, bring me to MMU. Then he will look for the route and bring you there from where you are. He will be able to avoid cars. He will be able to stop in time. He will tell you that your car is out of fuel soon. You cannot reach there. Please stop by at the nearby petrol station. Go and pump petrol for your car. We will have mobile supercomputing. So if you notice, now we can run, we can play games, or you can do any simulation very fast, because the computers that we have, we call it supercomputer, because it's not only one processor. There are more than one. There are 8 processors, there are 10, 12, more than that. And we have cloud space. So everything that you need, just put it there. There's no such thing as not enough memory anymore. You don't hear that. In the olden days, you always hear that. We have artificial intelligence. If you look at your current handphone, sometimes if you want to take picture, you point at the cup of coffee that you have, and it will be able to show you it's a cup. That's artificial intelligence. And not forgetting gene editing. That means sooner or later, you can go to the gynae and say, I want to have a baby boy. I must have a gene from me and my wife and my husband, and then gene from my father, from my mother. Or I can say, can it be arranged in such that I want it to have more towards the right brain or more towards the left brain? So you can edit the gene. This is for human. For animals, for other things, it's already there. You can clone animals even. So this is what we are expecting to see, maybe your next generation, okay? So these are, I just put 2 quotes here to see what is expecting. So for OECD, the AI will indicate that you will have broader range of jobs. Doesn't mean that with IR 4.0, we will have AI, we will have machine, all of us will be running out of job. That is not true. We will have even more challenging job, because we need to work with the machine. We need to produce the machine, okay? We need to produce the automation. Mr. Jack Ma from Alibaba Group said, we cannot teach our kids to compete with machine. I actually watched his video when he talked about this, because he's saying that we are moving towards more in AI, IR 4.0, and big data and all that gigantic names. He said that don't teach your kids to compete with machine. Teach your kids to work together with the machine. So are we ready? What do you think? Mr. Ahmad, do you think we are ready?
Oh, well, always ready.
Wow, good. There are 5 key technologies that you need to look at if you want to fit into the IR 4.0. This is what I pick up from worldwide, okay? So these 5 key technologies are Internet of Things, of course, IoT. It has always been there, just that it did not get a term, the name of it. When we say we go to the internet, we look for things, right? We search for information, it's already Internet of Things. AI, your handphone already have AI. Whatever you do, your car that you drive, the latest car that you drive, you go somewhere, you move towards the lines indicator, it will tell you that it's dangerous, come back in. You have robotics. The car that is being assembled in the assembly line in factory, they are using robotics. We will even have the walker to help us walk if you are sick for the old people. We have enterprise wearables. Enterprise wearables, it means that the thing that we wear, the wearables that we have, especially watches. Watches is very common now. So like these watches, it is smartphone, so it will have information of like how many steps you have walked, have you been running, have you been walking, how's your heartbeat. this is watch, but sooner or later you will see like you can wear it around your hand, your body, wear it on your head to ensure that you are not sleepy when you drive your car. So if you are sleepy, the wearables will alert you, wake up, wake up, wake up, something like that. So those are wearables. Additive manufacturing, it actually means your 3D printing. Okay, so 3D printing is also part of it. What are the impact? So these are the 5 key technologies that we see when you say you want to fit into IR 4.0. So let's say you want to look into your learning content. These are the 5 items that you should see is that. What is the impact? This impact is on, when we say IR 4.0 or when we say IoT, big data, all this we call it digital transformation. We transform our ways digitally. So this is the digital transformation impact in terms of cost in companies. There are 3 categories here. You can have manufacturing industry, logistic, and retail. So the impacts are shown in terms of cost, how many percentage, okay? Down here, what is shown in this slide? The bottom here is you will have cost reduction because you pay more things to build the automation, to build the machine. To build the automation, to build the machine. You will have additional revenues in different categories. You will have cost reduction because that means we have invest all this amount of money, the percentage that we have invested. Then at long term, you actually reduce your cost. That means I don't have to pay monthly salary to my operators anymore. I don't have to pay monthly salaries to people who will work on this machine anymore because it's automated. I just need someone to supervise, someone to maintain, to ensure that it's fine, it's working fine. So in terms of manufacturing industry, there's 20%, logistics service 14%, retail 25.5%. This is the cost impact in terms of business. Okay, so for people who are looking for job later or the owner of this category, they will see that it's actually more beneficial when IR 4.0 really step in. How about government? So government has came up with a policy. They also note it will impact us, especially Malaysia. So they came out with this national policy which runs between 2018 to 2025. So we are in 2020. So if you really look into it, there is a vision, what are the goals, what are the shift factors, and what are the enablers. So MITI, the ministry, has the vision. That means what they want to achieve together aligned with IR 4.0. And then what do they do? What are the goals? And how do they do that? So if you look at this policy, what do you think Malaysia focus on? What do you think Malaysia focus on? I specifically did not put very large because the word is there. What do you think Malaysia focus on? What is the industry that is Malaysia focused on? Malaysia has to pick one. Malaysia cannot cover all.
Maybe for the technology.
Technology? Encik Ahmad, what do you think? What do you think Malaysia focus on?
People.
People. Let me give you some more info. So this is IMK 10, IMK 11. This is the target, average growth. We have not seen, it has not been announced, I think, this year. It has not been announced yet. So this is the manufacturing GDP contribution and growth. And this is the manufacturing sector. This is employment in SME, employment by large firm. Almost there, almost balanced, okay? So we have SME, we have large firm. Foreign labor, we want to focus more on Malaysian, okay, rather than non-Malaysian. And then here, the skills level. This is the skills level. What skill are we looking at? Average. The high skill is 18%. What is the qualification here?
What is the 75%? I cannot see.
75% is semi-skill. This low skill, semi-skill, high skill. So semi-skill, you don't need very high skill. We only need semi-skill. Okay. qualification, SPM, university, and this is STPM and equivalent. This is the forecast chart for here, this part, okay, for RMK 11. So based on this graph, do you still think Malaysia is focusing on technology and people? What do you think Malaysia focus on? People, still people, still technology. Focus sectors. So this is our focus sectors, Malaysia focus sectors. So what do we focus on? 6 sectors here, including other sectors. Main one, electrical and electronics. Okay, machinery and equipment, chemical, medical, aerospace, and other sectors. Other sectors include automotive, transport, textiles, pharmaceutical, metal, food processing, and services. So you see, we have Malaysia focus on these main sectors, and it's more on manufacturing sector for Malaysia, if you notice. These are for government, the impact to government. So these are the sectors that we are looking at.
What do you think? Can I ask a question?
Yes, sure,
Question?
of course.
When you say manufacturing, which level of manufacturing?
Which
level of manufacturing?
Which level of manufacturing?
So, you see, if you look at our economic development from agriculture,
Yes.
then we shifted into industrial, whereby most of the industries, even currently also, assembling kind of manufacturing. Do you mean that kind of manufacturing, or manufacturing of new novel things like the Germans and France?
So when I say manufacturing, it's actually assembly and packaging, just like what you mentioned.
If we focus on that,
Yes.
then I don't think we need IR 4.0, because we have been doing that all this while and we have been fine.
Correct.
The reason why Sony moved away
Yes.
and all the countries moved away because of the, cost of labor is increasing in Malaysia, and
Correct.
they moved to some other better places where the labor is cheap. So if we are depending on these MNEs and all the MNCs, so I don't think we can survive with that. Nobody wants to come and invest in Malaysia
Yes.
unless we have the
Brain.
brain. That's another thing. That's what Singapore did.
Correct. You are right. I totally agree with you. So what they did when they came out with this policy, the national policy, they said the vision is on manufacturing. Okay, that means that's what they want to do.
That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
Which
that-
kind of manufacturing?
They say they want to do manufacturing, and then their goals is to ensure that you have, in terms of manufacturing sector, you can transform. The manufacturing sector is still there. They want to transform their manufacturing sector. That means towards more IR 4.0. But at the same time, I agree with you. I see a lot of manufacturing companies are moving north to Vietnam. And here, I think Malaysia is not doing it fast enough. This is my personal opinion. We are not doing fast enough, meaning we did not transform fast enough to capture back them here and say this is the cost. We were not able to keep the cost low. Hence, they are moving away because we are trying at the same time to focus on people, meaning I want you to have high income. I want you to have high income. Malaysia increased the wage. I think you're aware that Malaysia increased the wage for workers. So when they increase the wage, that means employer needs to pay more. So if employer needs to pay more, then the revenue will reduce. The cost that I need to put in is more. Why do I need to pay more? I go other countries, I don't need to pay so much. What I'm saying is, you said people, yes, we focus people, and at the same time, we want to focus on manufacturing sector. How? There is a clash there. One way, MITI is saying we need to transform, change all your automation. So you remove the people. So because the people are going up north to work. They are not coming here. So there is a conflict. Yes, you're right. But we are still focusing on manufacturing. I don't see any other area that we can go on. Unless they're actually going into SME. SME means moving towards entrepreneurship. want you to build your own business. You become an entrepreneur. Build your own technology. Build your own skill. Then that is different. Okay? For the people, what is our impact? It's only the privacy. Because we put everything online. You want to watch this live section, you have to go into Facebook. Everybody knows you are there, so there's no privacy. You want to use email, log in into Gmail. People will know you are there. If you notice, once your web browser is logged in, you go to YouTube, you go to anywhere, you are logged in. So everybody knows where you are going, what you have browsed. So the only impact to people is actually privacy. And how do we shape the future? That means how do we ensure that we can fit into IR 4.0? This comes to us as a people, as a student, as a learner. The 3 key areas that human can beat machine. First one, creative endeavors. Creative endeavors means people who write, people who draw, the authors, the artists, people who can imagine. You cannot ask the machine to write a story for you. You cannot ask the machine to draw something for you. The way they draw, you must give coordinate. Go 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 2. Then only he will draw. For human being, we can write, we can draw. Even if I go to class today to conduct lecture, student doesn't write. They just sit down there and wait for you. Then when I ask them, take notes? No need, miss. I use my handphone. See, they don't write anymore. Okay, so this is one of the key areas that we can beat machine. Second, what do you think? What else we can beat the machine? Emotional interaction. Machine don't have emotion. If you are using a machine, you feel pain. You tell the machine to stop. He will not listen because he doesn't know you are in pain. We have emotional interaction, something like giving a talk, like myself. I can talk to you, you can ask me questions, I can answer you. That is interaction. If you ask a robot to replace me and talk, you can ask questions, he will reply, but I do not know whether it has emotion, interaction. Last, third key area, physical dexterity and mobility. What that means is when you do physical activity, when you go hiking, you do exercise, you do swimming, anything that involves physical. It cannot be done by a machine. You must do it by human being. You go hiking, you need a tour guide. Can you ask a robot, please guide us there? Guide us to Mount Kinabalu. He will say, no, cannot. So these are the 3 areas. And trends for the coming future, 2025 and beyond. Okay, so beyond what we will see is that everything will be online, on cloud. 80% of us, we have all our data in cloud. 10% of us will be wearing something wearable. Even today, let's say we have 8 of us here. 10% means 1 of us are wearing something wearable. I'm already wearing something. So as you go on, you go out, 10% of us will be wearing something. We will tell about ourselves. Internet of Things. All your homes, everything, you will have Wi-Fi in your home. Seldom you will hear that people say, no Wi-Fi at home. Most of us will have Wi-Fi, will have internet connection. Everything will be connected. Sooner or later, your washing machine, your TV, your pressure cooker, your rice cooker, you just need to turn it on. You go to work, then at work, use your handphone, use the app. Please start cooking. Then you will start cooking. By the time you go home, it's ready. Okay? You will have 3D printed car. Real cars, not toy cars. It means sooner or later, your cars will be printed according to how you want it, what is the color that you want. You assemble in your engine, then you will be able to move. This is the future. What are the possible scenarios for employment growth, if that is the case? That means we see, so I mentioned about what is our national policy. We mentioned about what are the challenges. We mentioned about what are the 5 key technologies for IR 4.0, and then we talk about 3 key areas that will shape the future. So in terms of employment growth, what do you think? I have a few. Will be related to all these employees. Jobs which will be related to developing and deploying new technology. That means they have to develop according to the trend. They will have to go according to the IR 4.0. Firstly is your healthcare providers. We cannot run from it. So in the olden days, you said you are sick. Then doctor will examine you and said, you have fever, you have flu, this is your medicine. Then few days later, you come back again. I think I cannot breathe properly. Doctor will examine you and said, the next stage, go for x-ray to see whether your lung is fine. So x-ray is helping you. Then few days later, you said, it's still not getting better. Okay, you go to the hospital, go for CT scan, just to scan, make sure that it's better. So it's move on from physical contact, you go to x-ray, CT scan, then slowly you might need MRI as it goes on. So as technology improves, it might be a day you just need to call and say, I have this problem. Okay, I'll get an appointment for you. You just go straight there and do your scan. So these are the areas which will related to this technology. How about managers? We said IR 4.0, we have a lot of automation. We have a lot of machines. But who is supervising the machine? Who is taking care of the machine? We still need managers. We still need executives. Like here, the camera is moving, but someone needs to be there. You cannot just leave it like that and go off. So we still need someone to be here. Educators, like myself, Mr. Kyril, especially for young population. Sometimes we say, okay, we can do online learning, we can do over there. Yes, fine. But how about youngsters? How about young kids? You cannot just tell them, okay, now no need to go kindergarten. Watch this laptop, see online, how teacher teach you. If you're running around here and there, you cannot get that. So the young population still need educators. For us, universities levels, we guide them. We're not so much of educators or teachers anymore. We are more of a guidance. Creative people. As we go on moving towards IR 4.0, meaning a lot of things are automation, we don't need to go anywhere. We just stay at home. Look at the idiot box. Or we just stay at home, look at our laptop. But as we move on, we say IR 4.0, it helps us in terms of all this technology. But when all this technology are there, sometimes you feel bored. You have the money. Or you feel like you need to talk to someone. You need some entertainment. So all this entertainment, the YouTube that you watch, whatever that you see on TV, is made by someone. And this someone is a creative people. That's why we need creative people to create all this leisure and entertainment for you. The movies that you watch, the YouTube, the animation that you see, they are created, made by creative people. So we still need a lot of creative people. Builders, related professionals. When we say we want to build machine, automation, who is the person building it? The machine itself might be built by engineers, technicians. But where do we place all this machine? In the building. Who is building the building? It's the builders, the contractors. So we still need them. We cannot say we move into IR 4.0, everything automated, there's no more job. Not true. They actually create more job opportunity, just different area. And of course, you will still need home health aides and gardeners. Home health aides and gardeners means like, if we are working people, normally we send our kids for daycare. So in daycare, are you expecting a robot to take care of your kids? So you need someone to take care of your kids. Your elderly, your parents who are old, they are at home, sometimes they need help. So there will be some health aides. Do we still do gardening? For me, I'm lazy, I don't do gardening. But I don't hire gardeners, but I have some relatives who are interested in gardening. So whenever she comes, she will do the gardening for me. So we still need gardeners. We cannot get robot to do gardeners because we do not know this is a weed, this is a flower, this is what I want, this I don't want. They cannot differentiate yet. Maybe with AI they will be able to differentiate, but we are working towards that. And not forgetting professionals. We still need professionals. We still need scientists to work on the vaccine for COVID-19. Okay? We still need accountants to count how much revenue you have, how much you spend today, how much we have, how much do we expect to get. We still need analysts, analyze. Today, there are 8 of us here in this room. How many are online? I'm not sure. They will analyze. See whether the next talk, whether we need to increase the number of people. That is Miss Intan's job. So we still need to fit in this info, then we can analyze it. And of course, we still need engineers. The laptop that we use today is built by someone, by engineer. The camera is built by engineer. The screen is designed by engineer. So we still need a lot of engineers. So if we move back at the focus sectors here in Malaysia, it still have electrical and electronics. So it comes back to where I am because I'm in electronics field. So in MMU itself, we have, so this is the engineers that we need. In MMU itself, we have engineering programs. And this is by coursework. These are the programs that we have. These are by research. These are by coursework. All these programs are approved and accredited by MQA. That means Malaysia Qualification Agency. We receive MQA accreditation. And we have 3 programs by coursework. When we say coursework, is that you go to classes as usual. You have tests, you have exams. Then you pass the courses. Then you move on until you follow the structure until you complete it. We have Master of Engineering in Telecommunications because we are moving towards 5G, not forgetting. So in Master of Engineering in Telecommunication, we talk about 5G technology, we talk about networking, switching techniques. We have MEEE, Master of Electrical and Electronics Engineering. So this is part of the focus sector. That's why I emphasize on electrical and electronics engineering. In MEEE, as of today, most of the students come in for electrical. So we have energy management, we have energy policy making. These are the subjects that we have. And not forgetting, if you are like, I want to do engineering, I also want to do management because I want to become a manager, you can take Master of Science, EBM, Engineering Business Management. So in this program, we combine subjects from Faculty of Engineering and MBA. So the subjects that students will take are some subjects from MBA and some from engineering. So we combine these 2. And that completes my talk for today. Thank you. Do you have any question?
Yeah. In one word, how you differentiate between IR3 and IR4?
IR3.
What are the most prominent difference?
IR3 and I4.0, the most prominent difference that I can see is the CyberPhysical. CyberPhysical means you need cyber. Cyber, it could be internet, cybersecurity, everything cyber, and physical, myself. So you combine these 2. That's where you have your AI and all these things, you incorporate. Either the machine is intelligent enough, how to make it intelligent enough, we human beings, physical, must be able to teach the machine. Tell them this is what we want, you combine them together, then you work on it. That's what I think. CyberPhysical, one word. Yeah. Yes. Any other questions that we have? No? Encik Karil? Ada? Tak ada.
So you think that the curriculum in MMU are preparing your students for IR 4.0?
We are working on it. That means we are keep changing it, reviewing, upgrading, changing it. It's a long process because our process is such that you change here, you need to go through the committee at faculty level, university levels, and then only approve, then only we can give it out to students. We are doing that.
So far, what has MMU done, I mean, to help our industries to move to IR 4.0?
From education-wise, we are reviewing and changing our syllabus. That's education-wise. Then for students who are working towards graduating, because they might not be able to catch that part, we are changing the syllabus. So we expose them towards entrepreneurship, because entrepreneurship actually tells them that we have this, we have that. And in FYP project means final year project. Our project, we tell them to move towards that area. That means, let's say you are doing, let's say my students, they are doing application of glove former. That means what I ask them to do is that, okay, in glove industry, how do we ensure that the glove former it means the what do you call that?
Cast.
Yeah, correct. I'm looking for the word. The cast that they use to form glove. How do they detect that it has defect? Because Malaysia is #1 glove manufacturer. What happens if your former has defect? Once you have defect, the whole production line needs to close. Needs to stop, not close. Needs to stop. And then re-examine and do again. Can we incorporate automation in it? Can you detect the defect early before you start production? So that is what one of my students is doing for his final year project.
I noticed that you keep on using the word automation in
Yeah.
Examples.
Yes, correct.
Because automation is supposed to be IR 3.0.
Yes.
So what is the difference between automation in IR 4.0 and automation in IR 3.0? The difference between those two era.
Automation in 3.0 is automated, just press start and stop. IR 4.0, automation in IR 4.0, you start, you have to monitor some errors, you'll be able to feedback and tell you this is the error, I need to correct it. Automated. In IR 3.0, start, stop.
No intelligence.
No intelligence. IR 4.0, start, you see there is something wrong. The machine is able to correct it, feedback, change it, do it again, then continue. Any other issue, and at the same time it will be able to collect data, it will be able to analyze data until it ends, then you stop. So there is intelligence there.
Can you go back to the slides that you have the cost and benefit?
Cost and benefit, the business.
Yeah. This one. Where do you get the data from?
Let me see. It's a World Economic Forum, yes. World Economic Forum, WEC.
So if an industry come to you and wants to know about IR 4.0, can we somehow reproduce these numbers?
Can. It's actually a report that I pick up from the forum.
No, I mean specifically for that particular industry.
Yeah, so in that report it's quite a few pages number. Yeah, yes. I just pick up this only for this presentation. There are other information available inside in detail. That means, let's say you want to know manufacturing industry, which industry. You can go to that report and look for it.
What I mean is, let's say that glove company just now comes to you and say that I want this 20.1 increment. What should I do? Can we do that? Do you have a framework or things that we should do first, like auditing, and then, that would be helpful.
I have not think about that actually, but I think it should be that. If not, this number will not come out as this. That means how will they pluck out this number, 20.1%? Yeah.
To see how they come up with this.
I need to look in more detail at the report. We see whether it's the 20. Let's say this 20%. How do they come to this number? What are the factors? That's your question.
It can be a PhD.
Wow.
If somebody can come up with some sort of framework saying that any industry, you just follow this framework to see the benefit that you can gain from migrating to IR 4.0, right?
Yes. Correct. You're right. Good. Really from consultant. Okay, good input. Thank you, Mr. Ahmad. Question. How do you You put it in Facebook, is it? Directly to me or the MMU? MMU Facebook. Okay. Am I live? But I do not see myself live. Where is the question? What is the presentation about? Mana satu? Oh, that's a question from Facebook Live. The question is asking, what is this presentation about? Okay. This presentation is, the topic of this presentation is learning reimagining in IR 4.0. So what I covered in the contents are, what is IR 4.0? Where do Malaysia stand? What is Malaysia doing in IR 4.0? What are the key technologies that is involved in IR 4.0? How do we shape the future? That means what are the jobs that you see will move along with IR 4.0? I talk about 3 key areas: the creative and the endeavors, people who writes, people who draws. I talk about artists. I talk about, let me recall. I talk about builders, that means people who build. Yeah, managers. I think my audience know better than me, somehow I forgot. Emotional intelligence must be there. So I must be able to write, to draw. My emotional intelligence must be there. And physically, you must involve anything physically. So as long as you have these 3 key areas, you just move along with IR 4.0, you will be safe. It doesn't mean that in IR 4.0, we will have less job. It will mean that we are creating more jobs, more semi-skilled job rather than just low skill. So you need to think. You need to have the intelligence to move along. And the last part that I talk about are how about the employer growth. So in which area, how are we doing? I talk about the healthcare providers, the home health aides, the gardeners, the engineers, the professionals. We still need all of this. So in Malaysia, the sector that Malaysia focus on in IR 4.0 is the manufacturing sector. And in manufacturing sector, we have electrical, electronic, we have chemical, etc. So in EE, in MMU, we have MEEE, a program that you can take, move along with IR 4.0. That's my conclusion. I hope I answered that question. Any other question? All right, so should I? Yep.
One question. So as you say, like we don't need low skilled labor. So isn't they losing their job? Like for me, I'm from Bangladesh, so there are more. Maybe they are not so much literate or something like that, not very skillful, but still now they have the job. Like they are doing so many constructional jobs, so many of that. So are they losing their job if we go forward to the industry 4.0?
They will not lose their job. They will be somewhere, some sector, you will still need them. Let's say you are saying those low skilled people. If we move on to IR 4.0, we need the machine. Who is going to build the machine? Yeah. For semi-skilled, we give instruction, but who's going to build? So there will be someone who will be building it. Same thing like you build a house, build a building. Someone needs to build it. So we still need them. But they will not stay as low skill. I think they will move on also. Meaning once I learn this skill to build all this, then I move on. Then I can start to give instruction to people. So everybody is moving, is improving. That's what I think. Okay? So I think it's 11. I can conclude today's section. There's another section at 2 o'clock. And I will see you again. You can continue to ask questions on MMU Facebook. I will try to answer it in the afternoon section. Thank you very much.